In the bustling city of Etherport, where airships floated gracefully among the clouds, the promise of adventure hung thick in the air. The streets buzzed with traders, travelers, and inventors, each with stories of their own. Among them was Jackson, a 15-year-old dreamer with a passion for tinkering and a head full of fantastical ideas. He spent his days in his grandfather's workshop, surrounded by gears, blueprints, and the scent of machine oil. One day, while rummaging through an old trunk in the workshop, Jackson uncovered a peculiar device, a brass contraption with intricate engravings and a glowing crystal at its core. It looked like a compass, but with strange symbols instead of cardinal directions. As he examined it, a burst of energy surged through the device, projecting a shimmering map of floating islands above his workbench. Each island was marked with strange symbols, but one in particular glowed brighter than the rest: Skyhaven. The tales he'd heard as a child rushed back to him, stories of a legendary city in the clouds, said to be a haven for inventors and adventurers, filled with treasures and knowledge beyond imagination. Determined to uncover the truth, Jackson rushed to find his best friend, Myra, a sharp-witted girl with a knack for navigating the skies. "You won't believe what I found," he exclaimed, breathless with excitement. He showed her the device and the glowing map, eyes sparkling with possibilities. "We have to go to Skyhaven." Myra's eyebrows shot up. "Skyhaven? That's just a myth. But if that compass leads there, we could be the first to find it." However, as they planned their journey, an ominous storm brewed on the horizon. Dark clouds swirled like a vortex, threatening to swallow Etherport whole. Rumors whispered through the streets about a rogue airship captain who had gone mad, seeking to harness the storm's power. The city held its breath, and fear rippled through the townsfolk. Despite the storm, Jackson felt an unshakable pull to embark on the adventure. He and Myra quickly gathered supplies, food, tools, and a trusty airship, his grandfather's pride, the Etherwing. With the storm looming, they set out at dusk, adrenaline coursing through their veins. As they ascended into the swirling clouds, the world below faded into darkness, and the airship danced with the wind's fury. Thunder rumbled, and flashes of lightning illuminated their path. Jackson gripped the helm, heart pounding, while Myra studied the map. "Hold on tight," Jackson shouted, determination etched on his face. They were no longer just two friends dreaming of adventure. They were adventurers in search of a forgotten city, ready to face the unknown challenges that awaited them in the skies above. Little did they know, the storm wasn't just a barrier. It was a harbinger of the trials and secrets that lay ahead. Secrets that could change their lives forever. The Etherwing trembled as it climbed higher into the darkening skies, the roar of the storm enveloping them. Jackson's hands tightened around the helm, feeling the surge of wind push against the ship. Myra, beside him, was focused, her eyes darting between the glowing map and the ominous clouds swirling overhead. "Stay steady. We need to adjust the sails," Myra shouted, her voice barely audible over the howling wind. She moved quickly, tying down ropes and securing their gear. Jackson nodded, adrenaline fueling his movements as he steered the ship into a gap in the storm clouds. Suddenly, a deafening crack of thunder echoed, and a bolt of lightning illuminated the scene, revealing a massive airship hovering perilously close, its hull battered and dark. Jackson's heart raced. "That must be the rogue captain," he exclaimed. Myra squinted through the rain. "We need to avoid them. If they are as reckless as the stories say, they might not care who they take down." Just as Jackson turned the either wing to dodge the larger ship, a sudden gust of wind slammed into them, tossing the airship sideways. They careened toward the rogue vessel, the shadowy figure of the captain visible on the deck, shouting orders as his crew scrambled to stabilize their ship. "Hold on," Jackson shouted, fighting to regain control. The airship lurched, and Myra grabbed onto the railing, her knuckles white. With a deep breath, Jackson concentrated on the ship's movements, making a sharp turn just in time to avoid a collision. They surged ahead, the rogue ship disappearing into the storm. As the storm raged on, Jackson glanced at the compass-like device, now glowing with urgency. "It's pointing us somewhere," he said, excitement bubbling within him despite the chaos. "If we follow it, we might find Sky Haven." Myra nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "Let's trust it. The storm can't last forever, and if we keep our course, we'll find a way through." With a renewed sense of purpose, they navigated through the turbulent skies, the device pulsing brighter with each passing moment. The storm raged, rain lashing against the ship and wind howling like a beast. But Jackson and Myra worked in harmony, each movement calculated and precise, driven by the thrill of adventure and the promise of discovery. Hours passed, and just when fatigue began to settle in, the storm began to dissipate. The clouds parted to reveal a breathtaking sight, an island floating in the sky, surrounded by shimmering mist and glowing with a warm, inviting light. "Sky Haven," Myra gasped, awestruck. They soared closer, excitement coursing through them. The island was more magnificent than any story had suggested, with towering spires and bridges connecting lush gardens filled with strange, colorful flora. But as they descended, a shadow flickered across the island, a massive figure standing guard at the entrance to a grand archway. The figure's wings spanned wide, its eyes glowing like embers. It was a guardian, a creature of legend, protecting the secrets of Sky Haven. Jackson's heart raced. They had made it, but their journey was far from over. The guardian stood between them and their dreams, ready to test their resolve. "Are you ready for what lies ahead?" Jackson asked Myra, his voice filled with both trepidation and excitement. More than ever, she replied, determination glinting in her eyes. With that, they steered the Either Wing toward the island, ready to confront the Guardian and uncover the mysteries that awaited them in Skyhaven. As the Either Wing glided toward the floating island, Jackson and Myra exchanged eager glances, anticipation mingling with apprehension. The Guardian stood tall and imposing at the archway, its wings unfurled like a cloak, each feather glinting in the soft, golden light that surrounded the island. As they landed, the ground beneath them felt solid and warm, contrasting sharply with the chaotic storm they had just escaped. The Guardian, with eyes like molten gold, regarded them silently, exuding an air of ancient wisdom and power. "State your purpose, travelers," the Guardian boomed, its voice echoing like distant thunder. "Only those who seek knowledge with pure intent may enter Skyhaven." Jackson felt a surge of determination. "We seek the truth about Skyhaven. We wish to uncover its secrets and share them with the world," he declared, his voice steady. Myra stepped forward, emboldened by Jackson's conviction. "We believe this place holds the key to incredible inventions and forgotten stories that could help our village thrive." The Guardian's expression softened, but its gaze remained piercing. "Many have come before you, seeking treasure or power. The path to knowledge is guarded fiercely. To prove your worth, you must complete a challenge, a test of courage, intellect, and heart." Jackson's heart raced. "What kind of challenge?" "The challenge of the elements," the Guardian replied. "You must face trials that test your connection to the earth, the air, and the spirit. Only then will you gain entry to Skyhaven." With a solemn nod, the Guardian extended a massive wing, revealing a swirling portal of light. "Step through, and your journey shall begin." Taking a deep breath, Jackson and Myra stepped into the portal. A rush of energy enveloping them. In an instant, the world around them transformed, and they found themselves on a vast, open field surrounded by 3 towering pillars, each representing one of the elements. The first pillar, made of sturdy stone, pulsed with earthy energy. At its base, a series of intricate carvings depicted the natural world, trees, mountains, rivers. To pass the trial of the earth, you must connect with the land, a voice echoed, seemingly coming from the pillar itself. "Find the hidden seed of wisdom within." Myra knelt down, examining the area around the pillar. "Look for something unusual," she suggested, scanning the ground. Jackson joined her, digging through the soil until his fingers brushed against a small, smooth stone. "Is this it?" he asked, holding it up. "No," Myra said, shaking her head. "It's not just a stone, it's a seed. It needs to be planted." Remembering the stories his grandfather had told him about the importance of nurturing nature, Jackson quickly found a small patch of earth nearby. He pressed the seed into the soil, whispering words of hope and gratitude. As he did, the ground trembled slightly, and the pillar responded with a warm glow, acknowledging their connection to the earth. With the first trial complete, the ground beneath them shifted, revealing a pathway to the second pillar, which soared high into the sky, swirling with air and light. To pass the trial of the air, the voice intoned, "You must harness the winds to create a song that resonates with the skies." Myra glanced up at the pillar. "How do we create a song?" She wondered aloud. Jackson noticed several flutes, each crafted from different materials, lying at the base of the pillar. "We need to play together." Each flute represents a different aspect of the wind. They each picked up a flute, feeling its unique energy. As they began to play, a gentle breeze picked up, swirling around them. Jackson and Myra harmonized. Drawing from their hearts and the memories of their village, the laughter of children, the rustling of leaves, and the whispers of the sea, as the melody filled the air, the winds responded, lifting their spirits and intertwining with their notes. The pillar erupted in a vibrant display of light, confirming their success in the trial. Panting but exhilarated, they moved toward the final pillar, which emanated a soft, ethereal glow. To pass the trial of spirit, the voice said, "You must confront your deepest fears and show your true selves." Jackson and Myra exchanged anxious glances. They stepped forward, entering a misty realm that seemed to reflect their innermost thoughts. Shadows flickered at the edges of their vision, whispering doubts and insecurities. Suddenly, Jackson found himself standing alone, surrounded by dark figures that loomed large, embodying his fears of failure and inadequacy. "You'll never uncover the secrets of Sky Haven," a shadow taunted. "You're just a boy." "No," Jackson shouted, forcing himself to remember why he was here, the hope for his village, the dreams he had held on to. "I may be just a boy, but I have the heart to try." The shadows hesitated, their forms wavering. In that moment of clarity, Jackson embraced his truth, and the shadows began to dissolve. At the same time, Myra faced her own fears, confronted by visions of isolation and being lost. "I won't let fear hold me back," she declared, recalling the bond she shared with Jackson and the strength they found in each other. With their fears vanquished, the mist cleared, and the pillar radiated light, signaling their completion of the final trial. Together, they emerged victorious. The guardian awaited them at the archway, pride evident in its golden eyes. "You have proven your worth through courage, intellect, and heart. Welcome to Sky Haven." As the grand archway swung open, revealing the wonders within, Jackson and Myra stepped forward, ready to uncover the secrets of this legendary place and embark on the adventure of a lifetime. As Jackson and Myra stepped through the grand archway, they were greeted by a breathtaking sight. Skyhaven unfolded before them, a sprawling city of gleaming spires, interconnected bridges, and vibrant gardens filled with flowers that glowed softly in the twilight. Floating lanterns lit the pathways, creating a warm, inviting glow that beckoned them deeper into the heart of the island. "Can you believe it?" Myra whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's even more magnificent than I imagined." Jackson nodded, his heart racing with excitement. "This place is alive with possibilities. We have to explore." They wandered through the bustling streets, marveling at the inventions that filled the marketplace. Artisans showcased their creations, mechanical birds that sang sweet melodies, intricate clockwork devices that danced in the air, and shimmering glass sculptures that seemed to change shape with every breath of wind. As they wandered, they noticed a gathering near a central plaza. Curious, they approached and found a crowd listening intently to an elderly woman, her silver hair cascading like a waterfall. She spoke passionately about the history of Skyhaven, recounting tales of inventors and explorers who had shaped the city's destiny. Skyhaven was once a sanctuary for those who dreamed beyond the horizon, she said, her voice resonating with emotion. But with great innovation came great greed. The secrets of this place were coveted, and the balance was disrupted. We have since guarded our knowledge, waiting for worthy souls to reclaim it. Jackson and Myra exchanged glances, understanding that their journey was tied to this history. They approached the woman after her speech. "We seek knowledge that can help our village," Jackson said earnestly. "We want to learn and share what we find." The woman's gaze pierced through them, and after a moment, she smiled. "Your hearts are pure. Follow the path of the ancients, and you may find what you seek. But remember, knowledge is a double-edged sword. Use it wisely." Grateful for her words, Jackson and Myra set off toward the ancient library, a magnificent structure made of crystal and stone, its walls etched with intricate designs that shimmered in the soft light. Inside, rows of scrolls and books stretched high into the air, filled with the wisdom of generations. As they explored the library, Jackson's fingers brushed against a weathered tome bound in leather. The title glowed faintly, "The Inventions of the Sky." He opened it, and his eyes widened at the diagrams of airships, mechanical creatures, and inventions that could harness the elements. "Look at this," he called to Myra, pointing at a sketch of an airship that could soar higher than any other. "We could build something like this for our village." Myra joined him, flipping through the pages. "And this one," she said, finding a blueprint for a device that could purify water. "This could help us with our drought." Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from outside, shattering the peaceful atmosphere. Jackson and Myra exchanged alarmed glances before racing toward the sound. As they burst out of the library, they saw chaos unfolding in the plaza. The rogue captain, the one they had seen during the storm, had returned, accompanied by a crew of menacing figures. Skyhaven's secrets belong to me, the captain bellowed, brandishing a strange device that pulsed with dark energy. I will take what I need to control the skies. Jackson felt a surge of anger. We can't let him do this, he shouted, turning to Myra. We have to protect Skyhaven. The crowd was in a panic, scattering in all directions. But the elderly woman from the library stood her ground, a fierce determination in her eyes. You shall not take our knowledge, she cried, raising her arms. An aura of light surrounded her, as the pillars of Skyhaven began to respond to her call. Myra, we have to help her, Jackson urged. They charged toward the rogue captain, determination coursing through their veins. As they approached, the captain turned, his eyes narrowing. You two again? You think you can stop me? We won't let you hurt this place, Myra shouted, her voice unwavering. With a roar, the captain unleashed a wave of energy from his device, aiming straight at them. Jackson and Myra ducked just in time, the blast missing them, but causing a nearby statue to shatter. Focus, Jackson yelled, remembering the knowledge they had just learned. We have to use what we've learned from the library. Myra nodded, her eyes lighting up with inspiration. The elemental devices. If we can channel the energy from the pillars, we can create a counterforce. Together, they sprinted toward the nearest pillar, Jackson reaching out to the earth, while Myra called upon the air. They closed their eyes, concentrating on the energy flowing through them, visualizing the balance of nature, and their intent to protect Skyhaven. As they combined their powers, a surge of light erupted from the pillars, swirling around them. The rogue captain's device flickered in response, struggling against the force they were creating. Impossible, he shouted, panic creeping into his voice. You're just children. Children with the heart to fight for what's right, Jackson declared, focusing all his energy. With one final push, the light surged forward, colliding with the captain's dark energy. A brilliant explosion of light filled the plaza, illuminating everything around them. The captain stumbled back, his device sparking and sputtering before collapsing in a heap of metal. The crowd, witnessing the display of unity and courage, began to cheer. The rogue captain, now stripped of his power, fled into the shadows, his figure disappearing into the distance. Jackson and Myra stood, panting but triumphant, as the guardian appeared beside them. You have shown bravery and wisdom, it said, pride evident in its voice. Skyhaven is safe because of you. The elderly woman approached, gratitude shining in her eyes. You have embraced the true spirit of this place. The knowledge you seek is yours to share. Use it wisely. As the crowd gathered around them, cheers of celebration echoed through Skyhaven. Jackson and Myra felt a warmth of hope in their hearts, knowing their adventure had only just begun, and the secrets they had uncovered would change their village, and perhaps the world, forever. The celebrations in Skyhaven lasted well into the night, with lanterns illuminating the streets and music echoing through the air. Jackson and Myra stood amidst the joyful crowd, hearts swelling with pride and excitement. They had not only protected this remarkable place, but also unlocked its ancient knowledge. As the festivities continued, the elderly woman, now a guiding figure in their journey, led them to a secluded garden filled with luminescent flowers and shimmering fountains. "This is the Garden of Reflection," she explained. "Here, we honor those who have come before us and share our hopes for the future." Jackson felt a sense of serenity as he took in the beauty around him. "We want to bring back everything we've learned to our village," he said, turning to the woman. "There are so many who could benefit from this knowledge." "Your intentions are noble," she replied, her gaze wise and knowing. "But remember, true legacy lies not just in sharing knowledge, but in inspiring others to seek their own paths. Encourage them to dream, to innovate, and to cherish the balance between progress and nature." Myra smiled, her determination shining bright. "We'll do just that. We'll make sure the stories of Skyhaven live on." The next morning, Jackson and Myra gathered their supplies and the precious tomes from the library, preparing for their journey back to their village. As they boarded the Etherwing, the Guardian appeared beside them, its wings glimmering in the morning light. "You have grown in ways that few do in a lifetime," it said, its voice resonant and warm. "Remember, the spirit of Skyhaven will always be with you, guiding your hearts and minds." With a deep breath, Jackson took the helm while Myra checked the maps. As they ascended into the sky, the island began to fade into the horizon, but its essence remained etched in their hearts. The journey home was filled with reflections on their adventure, the trials they faced, the friendships forged, and the lessons learned. They knew that sharing the knowledge of Skyhaven wouldn't just change their village. It would spark a movement, inspiring others to embrace their creativity and passion. Upon their return to Eldamere, the village welcomed them with open arms, curious about their stories. Jackson and Myra gathered everyone in the town square, their voices filled with excitement as they recounted their adventure. They spoke of the inventions they had seen, the lessons learned from the Guardian, and the importance of preserving the balance between nature and innovation. Over the following weeks, they shared the knowledge they had gathered, teaching the villagers how to harness the elements and build sustainable inventions that could benefit their community. A spirit of creativity spread through Eldamere as families worked together to create water purification systems, innovative farming techniques, and even small airships, inspired by the designs from Skyhaven. As seasons changed, the village blossomed. The once quiet streets buzzed with activity, and Eldermere became known as a hub of innovation and inspiration. Jackson and Myra often led workshops, encouraging others to explore their own ideas and dreams, always reminding them of the importance of balance and harmony with nature. Years later, on a warm summer evening, the villagers gathered to celebrate the anniversary of their transformation. They erected a small monument in the town square, depicting the Guardian and the Pillars of Skyhaven, a reminder of the adventure that sparked their journey. Jackson stood beside Myra, their hearts full as they watched the next generation of dreamers and inventors at play. "We did it," he said, a smile spreading across his face. "We honored Skyhaven's legacy." Myra nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "And we'll keep the spirit alive, inspiring others to seek their own adventures." As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the village, Jackson and Myra knew their journey was just the beginning. The spirit of Skyhaven thrived within them and the community they had nurtured, a beacon of hope for future generations to come. Together, they embraced the unknown, ready for whatever adventures awaited them next. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. You are awesome.